how did you come to be part of Learning Our Way, and why did you want to be?
Being at the right place at the right time.
The right place in the right time.
Well, part of that is, throughout my life has been about learning and teaching. What I learned a long time ago, they used to say that knowledge is power. I learned differently from my elders that sharing knowledge is power.
Like that.
And so that's part of, but throughout my life, it has always been about understanding how it came to be. And I talked about it earlier, I was stillborn, I was mute, I was learning, to speak my language. And then, like I said, a big time was also observing community. And I was talking about earlier about values in Christianity and religious impact on communities. You have 500 First Nations on the reserve. You can have as much as 3 different churches vying for their soul. Now the question is, because we're such a lost soul, or is our soul that valuable?
So that's the...
So again, the mindset, how do you look at that?
Yeah.
Whereas general population, you have one church for 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So knowledge is power, and sharing knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And how does that sharing of knowledge, how do we do that well in community? Because, I think there's a lot of generosity we're asking of community to share.
Right. How do you, well, part of that is to engage in relationship, like, and it comes back to, what you never say, that everything is relational, and that the first relationship is with yourself, then your family, and community, and your tribe. And I think mankind is what I believe that's what it's coming to.
Mankind is going through a big transition, and we need
Exactly.
to share our knowledge.
Yes.
With each other in relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we go into communities, I sometimes wonder, how are we going to be received? And we try to develop an understanding, a relationship about what the expectations are.
Right.
And I'm wondering from the community side, how would they prepare themselves? What would we be asking community to
Well, I think
about?
it would be different if we had a community champion of the program. Right? Yeah. But part of that is it's built on the teaching. You learn about other people, you learn about yourself. And that's part of our teaching. So part of that is, So if I learn something about you, I would learn something about myself. I had a friend, he was from Calgary, Cree Indian, and we were both treatment directors, so we traveled around different parts of Canada. But he was prejudiced. He didn't know it. He automatically, if there was a Hindu taxi driver, he refused to give him a car. And after about 5 years, I said, what's going on here? Every time we have a Hindu driver at the airport, oh my God, I'm prejudiced, he said. And we worked it through.
Wow, didn't know.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah. I see that in the field schools. We go in and people's behaviors
Yeah,
are things that they didn't even really think about. It's just the way they've always done it.
that's
But
right.
it can have impacts on other people without them knowing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and that's part of what we need to accept.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not, you always have an impact
Yeah.
by your mere presence. No spoken word needs to be done, you still have an impact.
One of the things I've noticed with people coming in, and maybe even in myself too, is you go into the community and sometimes the first thing you notice is the garbage.
Yeah,
And that judgment, that piece of judgment comes up right away.
yes.
And that impacts the relationship.
Well, that's part of the challenge too, eh? Yeah. I mean, like, you go to Kingdom, it's quite clean, only because of floods.
Right.
You
Gets
know?
washed you get flushed.
Yeah. So that's part of how do you, and that's something that we go through. If your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, and that creates that challenge of that conclusion. For example, like some of my kids are really messy. It's messy, but it's not dirty.
Yeah.
But there's some people who are dirty and messy.
Yeah.
What's the conclusion on that?
Right. Yeah. So it's interpretation as well as judgment playing together.
Yes.
Yeah. There's so much of that that goes on when you come into a new environment that you're unfamiliar with.
That's right.
Sometimes people feel, coming in, I think they feel vulnerable or unsafe, and so it makes them want to try and control things.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I learned, for example, like, and I shared this before, like in Kingham, we didn't have indoor plumbing. We had outhouses. And I never felt poor for it, which is the normal state of how we live. You dig a hole, build a toilet around it, and then it's an outhouse. But when we went to Ellis Bay, people are still poor. So what are you talking about? Well, you don't have indoor plumbing. So that was part of the judging what creates wealth. So wealth is a state of mind, it's not, which means it gets externalized by one's values and principles, points of view, or, yeah.
So judgment, I think, comes up too internally when we are going in to build a relationship, and we sometimes have a problem with people wanting or feeling that they can contribute or be part of our, people from the community wanting to join in. And I'm making an assumption, sometimes it's about self-judgment, like what do I have to offer?
Yeah.
Why would they want to listen to me?
Right.
That kind of
Well,
judgment.
that's part of what I struggle with, huh? Like, and this has to do with what I call blasphemy. Like, how you really believe our Creator and the sacred masters that came to help us in all the religions, whether it's Jesus Christ, whether it's Buddha, whether it's Allah, whether it's Shintoism, all of that. They came and taught us because we were a part of them. Well, I question myself, who am I to be like them?
Yeah.
You see? That's been short my life. I've met people, total strangers. I could read their auras and ask them, can I help you? There's something I need to share with you. You can take it on value or you can leave it alone. and you worked for them. You know, you had to do this. You want to, yeah. I did that with Evelyn Windsor. Evelyn, my sister Evelyn was with me. 3 of us in my house in Jefferson. I saw her aura. I said, what are you doing? What do you mean? I'm not well, she said. I know, I see your aura. What do I need to do? I said, get rid of, for a limited time, just eat all greens, nothing else. 3 or 4 months later, you're right, I'm healed now.
Huh.
You know, and I've done that, you know, with people. But I beat myself up when I did that. Who am I to?
Who am I? Because you were channeling that information.
Yeah.
The all greens part was coming from an external.
That's right.
That you, yeah.
Yeah. Because I learned to be empathic at a very young age. And it comes from, I believe, comes from my being mute. You know, learning how to communicate. Like in my book, I focus on the young niece who was, you know, she's 2 years younger than me. And then when I went to university at 18, she left our community, but she went into alcoholism because that's what her family went into it. But wherever she roamed, I would get the message. I'm here, I need to talk to you. And I somehow always got to where she was, whether it's in California, Alaska, northern BC, Montreal, Quebec, Winnipeg, Florida.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So you could have that.
Yeah. Telepathy.
Telepathy. Okay, there's so many telas.
Yeah.
We were talking a bit about judgment and judgment, self-judgment when we are sharing teachings.
Yes.
But do you have any thoughts for communities that are thinking about hosting field schools, about what they might want to think about in terms of their own, how do they, what questions should they be asking themselves before they, in preparation, if they're going to do this work with us? Or the ones that even are doing the work with us, what questions are they asking themselves?
Well, asking, I mean, what's their expectation, I guess?
Yeah.
To at least clarify that. Yeah.
What, and so what, because one of the challenges, one of the things that we're trying to work with is how do we create that relationship so that the community feels that we're following their protocols, like if they want to, if they would normally welcome visitors in, that we do it their way rather than our way.
Right.
And that they participate in a way that would be how they would choose, rather than us saying, this is your agenda and this is what we're going to ask you to do. So how, I don't know if you have any thoughts around that relationship from the community perspective.
Yeah. Wow. I think it's a progression, like learning our way. From whose point of view is those words. Because if you take a look at, is it from the program, or is it from community, or is it synergy of the two? See, to me, it's a synergy of the two. And which means, this is why I keep saying, that we have to nudge community to ask the questions ourselves. What has been the impact by colonialism, oppression on them? Yeah.
It's important that the communities are doing that healing work of where they want to come from in order to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's important for the participants to do that work themselves too.
Yes.
And yet we can, and somehow my hope is that the Learning Our Way brings that intention together. So it creates possibilities for people to choose to be in a healing journey.
Yeah. Yeah. What's kind of interesting that I often take a look at, I'm really grateful for my ancestors and my elders for sharing their knowledge. We're taught how to, as children, that we are the form beings in one, the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual, and that we do that in reverence, which is one of the values, how you respect all of creation, and to the point of reverence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of our teaching. How do you do that? And how do you call it reciprocity? That is about servitude.
Mm.
And this is part of what community has. So it has to be both ways. Rather than gimme.
Mm.
See, that's the dysfunctionality. Now, okay, it's one way. Yeah.
Right. And that plays out with participants who want to come in and provide service.
Yes.
And one of the values of the field schools have been, that's not part of what we're doing there. We're coming to be visitors and to learn.
Yeah.
And I remember you're telling me in such a clear way of putting it that you lose the humility of who you are when you do service.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden now I'm the one giving and it gives me power.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're just going in to learn and to be looked after, you're actually in a less powerful position. I think that's a really interesting twist that happens at the field school.
That's right.
But from the community's perspective, if I'm understanding, you're saying that that's something that needs to be brought back, is that desire, ability to be of service to the visitor.
That's right, yeah.
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 And yet, I also see when people come in, they feel so much gratitude for what people give them in terms of teachings and in terms of food, or just looking after them, or just sharing their space with them.
That's right, yeah.
So it does create that dynamic happens.
Yes.
People feel loved and looked after when they come in.
Right.
Yeah, it's an interesting way of changing the dynamic between health professionals and people living in their communities.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of the reasons that the Learning Our Way has had success.
Yes.
And sorry, I'm doing the talking now, but you're making me think. That's also
that's good.
that's also
that's a trick.
The value of wellness and doing this from a wellness perspective.
Yes.
Not going in and focusing on problems.
Right.
Seeing them as part of the realities, but the focus is on what do we have in common, and what are our strengths that we can share with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of that is how do you see mankind? To me, mankind has always been good. But we get inflicted with negative energy, like, that gives us the negative behavior. Yeah.
And we were talking earlier about, I think, that the purpose of feeling fulfilled is about bringing goodness into the world, looking after yourself and each other.
That's right, yeah.
And the earth. That's the important energy to create in the world, the goodness.
Yes.
I've also learned that goodness doesn't exist without evil or badness.
Yes.
So.
That's right. So apparent dichotomy, that's not really dichotomy.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
So those are a lot of the values, I think, of the field school we just talked about: the reciprocity, the wellness focus.
Yeah.
And we often start with all of the R's as a discussion
Yeah. So the wellness focus is about also looking at the community as self-determining and self-sufficient. There's a part of that is they have to be free to be who they are. And this is part of the challenge with, Indian Act, senior government, always imposing their will. Yeah. But like I said, you take a look at the history of mankind, all the religions have done that. To do two things: control the land and control the people. Yeah. I mean, like, I wasn't going to write about Jacquemin, but no, I have to write about Jacquemin. To create the messenger from my creator who came to my people. So just 4 things to him. And the story I'm going to focus on is he bound his legs with him in the salt, okay? But when he came out, he showed them a cradle. The cradle is about rebirthing, vice versa. It's about thriving in your adversities. For I am the healer, and it's all about you being capable of doing that. Yeah. So that I'm adding to my book to do that.
Can you?
But there's another story that as he was coming up from the salt sack, there's a house we call the House of Eastern Keeler. And it took us forever to learn what does that mean. We thought it was another animal kingdom or whatever. No, it's your temple within you. The house of joy and harmony. And that's the peace and harmony that we all search for is within you.
The peace and harmony we all search for is within you.
Yeah. And that's like...
That's the...
Yeah. So how do you get rid of the negativity to realize the peace and harmony? Yeah. So it means no judgment, no racism, no oppression. That's part of my learning. I'm looking at oppression. It comes from the European feudal system. There's a king and all the served around the king to service the king. Yeah. And take a look at the first settlers in the New World. Who were they? They were the serfs who were running away from oppression. But what did they bring? Their knowledge about oppression. And so that's all they knew. Can't blame them for that. But that's what they...
And that's how they colonized the rest of the world.
That's right. And we even adopted some of the colonization. And I'm asking people to know what are a few things that just spread around the world. White things, 3 white things. Colonized the world. Flour, sugar, and rice.
I thought you meant white people, but but yes, white things.
Yeah. And that's part of the challenge that we face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are things that are devoid of their soul. Everything's been stripped away. The plant has been removed, and it's just the chemical that's left.
Yes.
Flour, sugar. What was the third one? Rice. Rice is whole, at least.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Yeah.
Could you explain to me what healing means?
What?
Healing. What does healing? What does it when you say healing? What does it mean?
Coming back to whole.
Coming back to whole.
Yeah.
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 I think in nursing we have a different understanding of healing.
Yeah.
It's something I do to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's how do you bring yourself to whole?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you for that. I think that's an important.
Yeah, but that's part of what needs to happen. How you bring back the wholeness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we've seen healing comes from the idea comes from, or healing from the environment. It's like we have control. This is the nursing idea. We have control. We control the environment to help people heal. So we open windows, or we take care of the temperature, or we try to reduce the amount of pathogens in the environment. Yeah. But really, what I've come to learn is that healing is about wholeness, and it comes from the environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's an important lesson for me over the years of being part of the fields, learning our way. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you think we should include in our message to people about learning our way? Anything that you feel we should make sure we include in our final reports or presentations?
Wow. I do invite people. I'm often guided by basic principles of who I am. Huh? How do I take care of you, others, mothers? But there's also a premise on that. I have to take care of me in order to do the provide service. So there's lots of things that need to be looked at by that point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I provide service to you and look after you? 4 phases of Palatine, three-quarter uplifting, Maya is respecting, Gawalap is servitude, and gratitude, I find, is one of the most powerful energies that you can. And we say that in words, Kailakasla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gela Kasla.
Yeah. And that's the power of words too. Everything has words have energy. Very powerful.
Mm.
Part of my blasphemy tricks, I can go against a book several times and I will know exactly what that book says.
Mm.
But I don't practice it too much, but I've done that.
Mm.
Yeah. Because you take a look at words have energy, books have energy. Yeah.
I struggle with you calling your power blasphemy.
Well, only because that's my sacred masters, like Allah, Buddha, Jesus Christ. I know that's what I'm working through.
Ah, okay.
That's part of my work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Gela Kasla, Paul.
Yeah.